6 weeks ago, I was changing my daughter, my 4-year-old daughter, and I noticed that when I changed her, she was red and very sensitive. And immediately, my first thought was, did someone touch her? Oh God. Gosh. So I asked her, I said, baby, did somebody touch you? And she ended up saying it was Daddy. I felt like my world ended on that day. My husband wasn't home at the time when she told me, but I knew he would be coming home soon, so all I could do was just say, don't tell him that you told me. And I just instantly started trying to think of how I could get my kids out of the house. Because I knew if I confronted him or asked him about it, that he would just lie. And that he would probably just continue to keep doing stuff to her, but just become more covert or more sneaky or whatever. As soon as my husband got home, he was actually picking up the boys from school, my 2 older boys from school. As soon as he got home, I told him that I was gonna go Halloween shopping with my sister because I just needed an excuse to get out of the house with all the kids. And I knew if I said something like, oh, I'm going to the grocery store, that it would be suspicious. Like, why am I bringing all the kids and like packing things, like things that we would need and things like that. So going Halloween shopping was the best thing I could think of to just hurry up and get the kids out of the house. I'm sorry, I had to get myself together. So when I got to the hospital, they basically told me that we had to go to another hospital because they didn't do physical exams, like that kind of physical exam there. So a police officer escorted the kids and I to another hospital where they were able to evaluate my daughters. It ended up coming out that he had actually been touching both of my daughters, who are only 2 and 4 years old. It still feels like a dream. In my marriage, there's been times where I've been being super spoiled. There's been times I've
Okay, ladies, come, come, and come now. Okay, so the young lady in the video that I stitched just now, um, I guess they call her, she built her brand as the trophy wife, but I think they said her real name is Isis. But she talks about how she follows Shira Seven and even Kevin Samuels, RIP. But and she ended up finding a guy. She ended up getting married, I think, very early. And I think they maybe been married maybe 3 or 4 years. I'm not sure. So she built this brand on being a trophy wife. And there's a story out now where she found out that her husband SA'd both of her children, ages 2 and 4. This is so heartbreaking. And coming from somebody who was SA'd by their biological father, this hits really hard and this hits really close to home for me. And ladies, I just wanted to come on and I just wanted to first send my heart out to the young lady who is experiencing this traumatic experience. Um, it's definitely a tough, I know it's a tough pill to swallow. And just imagine me coming from that. And it was my biological father, not my stepfather, not somebody my mom was dating. This was actually my father, somebody that actually birthed me, or played a part in birthing me. Um, so I can truly, truly relate to her pain, and I can truly relate to the psychological effects that is going to take place on those children based on what has happened to them. But I really wanted to come on and I really wanted to address the ladies. Listen, you have to realize that you were birthed into a patriarchal system, and with this system you was groomed since birth. You was conditioned and you were programmed to center your lives around men, to center your lives around getting married for security and safety and status. But what we really have to do, we have to educate ourselves on the psychological aspect of men. We have to really, really understand how men think and how men operate in order for us to really be able to deal with them in the capacity that we deal with them. And I understand, you know, relationship, marriage, fine. If that's what you want, fine. But you have to be more educated when it comes to dealing with these men. You have to vet these men more in depth before you get into a relationship with these men. Do not be so hard up and do not be so man focused to the point to where you don't take your time to really try to get to know the man before you just all of a sudden have them in your house around your kids. Now y'all in this full-blown relationship. And listen, all I'm telling you is make sure that you are secure within yourself, not just mentally, not just physically, not just spiritually, but financially as well. Make sure that you're able to sustain yourself. Make sure that you're able to secure yourself. Make sure that you're able to protect yourself. So when you see signs that you need to get out, that you are in a position to get out. A lot of people, a lot of women will still hear this message and it will go over their head because they're just so indoctrinated with the system that has been built for us, to the point to where they just cannot detach from it. But women, I am begging you and I am pleading with you to stop centering men. This is your life. You are an individual too. You have the abilities to fulfill and sustain yourself outside of a man. You really have all of that for yourself. So the ideology that you are holding on to is not really been as beneficial for women as you think that it has. Educate yourself, sustain yourself, build financial wealth for yourself, secure yourself before you try to go out here and get in these relationships, because at the end of the day, it is our responsibility and it is our duty to protect the kids that we bring into this world. It is our obligation and it is our duty to protect them. They cannot protect themselves at the vulnerable states. Listen, y'all. Get yourself together. Make sure you together. Make sure that you can move whenever it's time for you to move, no matter what the circumstances is. Stop centering men and make yourself the center of your own life.
Not me waking up this morning and seeing the new trophy wife in that tea. Hold on, like let me just say and reiterate this for the people in the back, because it's a lot. Is this new generation? We careless, and we don't really know. At the end of the day, if you marrying a money man, if you're marrying someone, if you are bringing a man into your children's life, please, please, please always be, and maybe it's because I'm a Scorpio, but always be on guard and always keep something in your mind that it can possibly or might happen, because people are surprising, okay? People, you don't put things past people, okay? Especially young women with children, okay? The kind of armor you need to have up for yourself and your children needs to be times 10. I don't know why I have to come on here and say that, but I really need this to reach people. Protect our babies, okay? A man isn't going to tell you, I'm attracted to little kids, okay? A lot of men are out here attracted to little kids and they don't speak on it, but they will act on it, okay? Let's start there. Don't trust nobody around your children.
The trophy wife. I don't think it is right for people to say she's not a good mother because she did not observe what was happening to her child on time. Firstly, that's not a distant member of the family. That's the father of the children. He has prepared an environment that is conducive for him to do whatever he wants to do. It is not her fault that she married such a man. But one thing you will need to know is when we are dealing with a person who already has an intention to do an evil deeds, they are very calculative. They plan way before they execute their plan. That man must have made the environment very conducive. He's a good father. He will be a good father. He cooks. He cleans for the children. He changes their diapers, baits them, put them to sleep, read storybook for them. He just makes the life easy for the wife. She would feel, oh, he's taking care of his children. So when he does whatever he wants to do and the child is bleeding, how is she supposed to know? When the child's diapers needs to be changed, he says, no, babe, don't worry, I'll change it. Because he knows what he has done. And she's never going to think about it, because why? That's a husband. That's the father of the children. He's taking care of his children. She would definitely be worshiping him. This is a supportive husband. But we need to know that people who do these things, they don't just do it once. They do it little by little. First, they'll start playing with the child, make the child feel comfortable, start touching. They start with touching, start with good words, until the day they finally penetrate, the day they finally do the act. She was lucky to find out. Remember, she said the husband was not at home when she changed the baby's diapers and saw the blood, the red color on it. He was not at home. If he was at home, probably she would not have found out, because he would have suggested that he wants to change it himself, because he knows what he has done. He was not at home, so she had the opportunity to change it. So she was lucky to find out. It is very difficult to find a culprit that is right under your nose. They make life easy for you. You think they are doing it out of love, but they are doing it because of what they are doing in secret. Yes, she should have been more careful, right? It is easier said than done. When you're dealing with a culprit that is in your house, it is easier said than done. She was lucky to have found out.
Do you guys remember Trophy Wife? I was thinking the other day, like, she hasn't posted in a very long time. What I've realized is that whenever influencers just stop posting for a while, I know that something is happening in their life. Yesterday, I was just randomly on YouTube and a video from her popped up. I was like, I didn't even know she had a YouTube channel. And the title of the video is I Married a Monster. Me looking at that title, I was like, here we go. But I was thinking that it was maybe cheating, manipulation, being possessive, or I don't know, abusive. But it's not even that. It's worse than that. It's the worst thing that can ever happen to anyone. She's got 2 girls, a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. And she was saying in the video that her husband touched her daughters, these little babies. And she's not just saying it out of the blue. She actually had this checked at the hospital and it was confirmed. I was just watching that video, guys. Honestly, I got emotional because she looks so broken. She is in pain. I would never wish this even to my worst enemy. And another thing that really made me sad for her is the fact that she also said that the exact thing happened to her when she was younger, and she always prayed to God that it should never happen to her kids. But unfortunately for her, it did. And it did by her husband, somebody she trusted. It's sad.